Thanks for downloading another episode of the ThunderCast. As you can see, we've got a very special standalone episode today. Marshall Athletic Director Christian Spears was kind enough to take a little bit of time out of his day to talk about, well, the state of the herd. So first of all, Christian, thanks for taking a little bit of time and joining us today on the ThunderCast. And let me get started. Well, what's the state of the herd?
I thought you were going to tell the little joke.
That is the joke.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I know what you guys meant. I appreciate you guys calling up and wanting to talk a little bit athletics. It's been an unbelievable week, right? We had an awesome Board of Governors meeting just the other day, and did two extensions for coaches that just flat out have earned them, and just really proud to work at an institution that recognizes when you have amazing people, you hold on to them. So Chris Grassi, a new 7-year contract. And, I don't even know if it's an argument anymore, guys. I mean, we have the best collegiate soccer coach in the country, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's going to be here for the long haul, and we're going to continue to embrace this community and elevate that program and do something we can all be proud of. And I said it in the press conference, and I mean it. Chris Grassi's impact on the pitch allows all of us to believe that Huntington can rise too, right? If we can win a national championship in soccer at Marshall University, we can build a brand new college of business. We can be the National Cybersecurity Institute for America's infrastructure at Marshall University. Impossible doesn't exist anymore. And, kudos to Brad, kudos to our board, and kudos to Chris for just holistically embracing who we are in Huntington, West Virginia.
Hey, Christian, in the end of June, start of July, it's that changeover for the Sun Belt Conference annual year, as it is. Scale of 1 to 10, taking into account everything, talking about athletics and academics, how satisfied are you where we are right now with all sports from this last year?
Yeah, tough question. Okay, so, from this mindset and from this lens, look, we're really overtly critical of ourselves and our performance because we want to be great, because this community deserves it. So if you asked our team, right, who are highly self-motivated individuals, we'd probably give ourselves a 5 just because of how we hold ourselves accountable for really high expectations. But if you went outside of our team and you looked at it from the mindset, okay, it's been 27 months since we've all come together, where we started, where we're at, what we've been able to accomplish transitioning to a new league, getting us caught up to kind of everyone else in the world in terms of facilities and expectations and belief. The people that we've hired that oversee our programs and care about our kids and connect to our community, the way the student athletes feel about each other and their knowledge of how we care about them, I'd probably give us a solid 9, right?
Yeah.
So, it just depends on the mindset that you bring to it. What I do know is we will not stop until we give the community an athletic program that it deserves, because they support us and we don't want to let them down.
Well, tied for 5th in the Bubas Cup. That's pretty good, right? We're in the upper echelon of schools, the top third, so to speak. And you mentioned 27 months since this team has come together, which begs the question, what's that one thing that has really surprised you still when you think about it during your first 2 years at Marshall?
You got to earn it every day here now.
Yeah.
You got to earn it every single day, right? So, you guys know me now, and I respect candid feedback. In fact, I appreciate it. And, I want to be told how we could be better and how we could be better stewards to our university, better stewards to the people who care about Marshall. But the criticism runs pretty deep and pretty straightforward. And no matter what you do, you're going to hear about it. And I don't want to change it. It just surprises me that the benefit of the doubt, we're got to earn it. We got to earn it every day. right? So we do make mistakes. We do recognize when we do. We do love the feedback, the candid feedback. Don't take that away from Huntington. It's a really special quality. And so we're just going to keep working really hard because we know people are paying attention, and we love that.
Awesome.
You know, we talk a lot about the shifting landscape of college football and everything that's going on with realignment and the NIL and all the different things. Conferences now are not wanting to schedule other conferences and all that jazz. And I imagine that's got to be extremely difficult for an athletic director at Marshall University and like schools. So what is your kind of strategy giving that climate, as it were, right now?
Yeah, I say yes to everything. That's our strategy, right? So I'll constantly call all of our colleagues in the industry. We'll do it at your place, at your time. You choose. We're in. Just pick us, and just be really flexible and open to the model or the iteration that they present to you. And I'm trying to get the teams that I feel like we can compete against and beat, but they don't want to play us because they're a little bit apprehensive about who we are, what we bring to the table, how we travel, and then our history of not being intimidated by going into big venues and playing, higher profile schools. So it seems simple. Let's play the bottom half of the Power Five and knock them off, right? Well, they don't want to play us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to play the top half. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And so are our coaches. So are our student athletes. And so is this community, which you got to love. We all remember 6,000 people went to South Bend. They all saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And, in this fall, I bet there's 7,000 or 8,000 people in that stand that are wearing green and white when we go and place the Buckeyes, right?
Yeah.
And wait till you guys hear what's coming in 25 and who we're playing there, and then so on and so forth. We're going to compete against the best and see how we do.
Yeah, I think that behooves the herd, right? When you're talking about an expanded playoff model and you go in and you beat a team like Notre Dame now, says a whole lot more than it did in a 4-team playoff format.
Yeah.
But let's look at let's take challenges aside, right? You've got a magic wand, and you get to choose your ideal out of conference slate. Like, what does that kind of look like to you?
Yeah, I want to go to destination locations. I want our fans to travel with us, right? That's critically important to me. And, it could be a bucket list, right? South Bend isn't exactly a less summer in South Bend, or, but what a bucket list, right? Mm-hmm. I would love to see a game at Notre Dame, right? Mm-hmm. So a little bit of combination of the two. Like, how can I knock that off your bucket list? Hey, I was there in Columbus when we beat the Buckeyes. You know how many people have told me the story about the kicker?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was there.
Yeah. Do you know how many people have told me that story? And if who was that kicker? Nugent?
No, it was Nugent. Yeah.
Mike Nugent.
Yeah. He doesn't make the kick of his life, and we win that game, and that memory, that Marshall moment, is there forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even if you weren't at Notre Dame, gosh dang it, you act like you were.
I was there too.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I want that. I want destination locations that people will travel with, or bucket list. That's my ideal schedule. I don't go by opponents. I go by come with us, be a part of it, experience the moment. If you're there with us, we got a shot.
Mm-hmm. And hey, man, we travel well. We really do. We travel well. News just came out at your press conference as well that we added 250 seats to the vet. And, anyone driving by over there can see that the scoreboard is going up, the video board, I should say, and everything. What can you tell us about that to let everyone know where those seats are and where the video board is and that sort of thing, so when they can get it in their mind for what it's going to look like here coming up in less than 2 months?
Yeah, you'll see the apparatus when you drive by that's going to hold the video board. So the structural steel is up. It's over in that corner just above the playground. We tried to angle it in a way so that a little bit of the opposite side can see it, and then obviously the side with the press box, you'll have full view and access. It is our scoreboard. We're going to take down the high school board that's up there now.
Yeah.
And we're going to donate that to a really special cause. And then we'll figure out how to utilize that structural steel for something else. And then those seats are going to be along that baseline and into that corner section on the opposite side of the field. We'll expand it appropriately, make it sufficient for people to walk by and through, and try to get you as close to the field as we can. And, we sold out 5 games. Chris won 18 matches last year, for gosh sakes.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And God, man, the guy just reloaded too. You just gotta love Coach Grassi and his staff. And so get to the vet, because we are going to be good again.
Well, I want to circle back to that a little bit. In the opener, you talked about Chris Grassi getting the extension. I've said many times this is the biggest slam dunk, no-brainer move that Herd Athletics has had in a long time, right? Yeah. But also, Greg Beals signs an extension. Obviously, 2 different scenarios among the 2 programs, right? One, we're trying to build into a contender. One is a national contender. But we talked a little bit about what that commitment says to Chris Grassi. What does that commitment also say, given the scenario, in terms of Greg Beals and the baseball program?
Yeah. Amazing people do amazing things. And Greg Beals is a heck of a person. And his family are unbelievable people. And they have embraced Huntington, West Virginia. This is home, right? This is home. I'm sure Greg will share this at some point. When Greg and I were talking about it, I said to him, hey, Greg, if I was your agent, I would tell you not to agree to a contract extension right now. And let me tell you why. Because I know you're going to win here. And you're removing the leverage from being successful by accepting a 2-year extension right now. But if this is where you want to be, and this is the place you want to develop a program at, let's sign this extension. Let's get you back to 5, and let's tell every prospective student athlete that you're going to be their coach through their completion of their degree here at Marshall. And if you want to do that, let's do it today, right? If you want to bet on yourself and be in a different leverage position, a Chris Grassi leverage position, hey, I just came off a Sun Belt championship, I'm willing to wait too. You got 3 years left on your deal. Like, let's do that too, right? And I'm signing the deal, Christian. We want to be here. This is where we want to build it. Kathy and I are committed. And I would love to be able to go and tell those kids, I'm going to be your coach. Yeah. And it was just that speaks volumes about Greg Beals and who he is as a man. You want your son to play for Coach Beals.
So talking about baseball, let's talk about the Jack. I mean, we're now 1 season in, and we're in the middle of the Coldcats season. That came together beautifully. I went to as many games as I could. It's a very special place. The facility is still coming together, but let's talk about what we've had so far. What's your thoughts on the Jack?
I love it. I mean, I just love it. Right. So all of that patience, right, that we all waited as a community, it's coming together really nicely. It really, truly is. Our baseball team will compete in the Sun Belt. I don't know how many of you saw the Coastal Carolina coach kind of doing his press conference, rounding out his career, and they were talking about how good Sun Belt baseball is. And he said, watch out for Marshall and Coach Beals and what they're building there. They may be next, right? Yeah. So the Sun Belt recognizes what we are building here, not just because of the facility, but because of the people that we have involved in our program, Coach Beals. And then this community, it matters, right? Those teams showed up in the Sun Belt, and they saw what we built, and they saw how our fans reacted. We have a baseball community. It's been here the whole time. We just needed to give them a venue to go to. And then it'll take a little bit of time for the Coldcats to really connect. I think we're around 200 or 300 average, right? I'd like to see that close to 700 to 1,000 average for the 24 games. But I think that'll happen. And, these hot days help us.
Yeah.
But a few more for you. We'll give you your afternoon back. And I'm not trying to tee you up here with baseball, but it just seems like a good transition to this question. When you look at the athletic department from a full scale perspective, and you're looking at all of our programs, which couple, 2-3 programs do you think are those next programs that are going to turn the corner and become those perennial SBC championship contenders, just like men's soccer is?
Yeah. Yeah, I get so much confidence in Julie Folks, right? Obviously, we saw what Kim did. So much respect for Kim, genuine care. Kim and I developed a great relationship while we were here together. But what we're going to get from Julie will be super special. I got a feeling we can lock it down for a while there, and just be the team in the Sun Belt. Morgan Zirkle, if she can find a couple of pitchers. We led the league in hitting. We led the league in production. On the offensive side, we just, you guys know this. If you don't have an everyday starter and pitcher, it's tough in softball. Yeah. But we give her a quality starter or two. Man, Morgan's gonna, and her competitive nature. Watch out. Added lights. Gave her an updated clubhouse and a facility, batting cages. She's going to do something in that sport. I don't know how you guys have been paying attention, but Rafa is recruiting his tail off.
Yeah.
That guy is all over the globe, literally.
2 or 3 a week are coming in as new signees.
Yeah. When we made that decision, we talked about Marshall soccer, not men's and women's. We talked about Marshall soccer. And Chris Grassi, an unbelievable mentor for him. Rafa embracing tactics similar to that Chris would utilize, understanding how he recruited on the men's side, bringing that philosophy to the women's side. Watch out. They're going to turn. And who's going to get it going is Corny, right? Men's basketball is going to develop. They're putting so much effort into recruitment and doing everything they can to change a little bit of the defensive philosophies that we had previously. Our guards aren't going to front bigs anymore on switch ups. But we're going to keep running an offensive structure that's going to generate 80 to 90 points. So we improve on the defensive side, continue to do what we are offensively. I got a lot of confidence in where he'll take us on men's basketball too.
Good deal. Talking again about bringing all these people up to a championship level, what is needed from the fans, the herd universe, and everything, and just everyone together? What is needed to get all sports at that championship level?
We're going to roll something out here. This will be a little preview. We're gonna call it something around our venues. And when you buy a football season ticket, you make a donation to the Big Green to have the great seats that you guys have. And everyone has been doing that for a lot of different years. And that donation that you've been making to football satisfies your ability at every other facility for all other teams that we sell a season ticket for. So you end up only buying season tickets when you go to purchase your soccer tickets because you've already made a donation to football. We're going to morph that a little bit. We're going to ask you to make your donation for football, and then we're going to ask you to do it for soccer. And then we're going to ask you to do it for basketball. And we're not going to gouge anyone. We're going to make it very reasonable and respectful. But if we're going to build those programs to the championship level, we're needing a little bit more resources to do that. And so hopefully people will understand that, buy into it, respect it. And we pour every one of those dollars right back in to the operating program and into the student athlete experience. So it doesn't go wasted. It goes to support our kids and our coaches so that we have what we all want, which is winning teams. So look for that. It's coming soon. And I'll probably have to come back on to explain it all to you when we get the candid feedback that I know is coming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's common. I think that's a common thing that's around sports already. I'm not sure what the term is, but it sounds like like a seat lease, like you're buying your seat rights or something like that. But I know that's not what it is, but it's, you need to generate a little extra money. So I'm with it. I think most fans will be with it.
That's exactly what it is. You're just buying your seat license at the venue. You buy the seat license at the CAM. You get to buy the tickets for volleyball and both basketballs. You buy the seat license at the vet. You get to buy tickets for both soccers. You buy the seat license, at the Joan, you get to buy tickets for football. It's exactly the analogy. We'll call it something different, give it a fun marketing term, but
Sure.
You're on it, brother, like you always are.
I know I'm available for hire if you ever need a mind. I'm here. Look, I got one more that's kind of fun. If you can let the cat out of the bag at all, I know most of Herd fans are going to start to drool if they hear this. So fans really, really, really want to know. We field tweets about this literally daily.
Okay.
Are there any plans to expand Marshall's football uniform arsenal? Is there a throwback maybe in the works? Is there a long sought after Kelly Green helmet maybe in the works? Anything you can give me, I'll take.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Why do you guys put me on the spot like that?
That's what we do.
Listen, I'm not going to not have Christian Spears accessible and not take this chance.
Yeah.
If you think this is a big question, wait till you hear my final one.
Right. So philosophically, it's in the best interest of every single athletic department in the country to have 3 setups, regardless of what your colors are. So we should have an all green setup, we should have an all white setup, and we should have an all black setup. And then from those setups, we can do lots of different combinations and rotations, right? And that, Coach Huff likes to let the student athletes pick some of that, and I respect that. But our fans don't always like the color combinations that our student athletes choose. But if we have all the setups and all the options, it's the right thing to do. So you're darn right. We are planning a green everything, right? So how do we do that? When do we do it? We have an awesome equipment staff. Mike Valentine oversees that area. He was the head guy at Northwestern for a really long time. If you guys paid attention to Northwestern's branding with football, it got really, really good under Mike Valentine. He's going to do a lot of that for us here. It already is great, but we're going to tweak little things, make it even better. And we always are going to work on an alternate. And, we're going to try to do that around the 75 game. That's just going to be what we do when we do it. Feels right. How do you honor the past? And talk about where we're going in the future. So watch for both of those things, though 25 doesn't feel like the right, 24 doesn't feel like the right year to accomplish them all. Right.
I'll take it.
But we will accomplish them all.
Adding a Kelly Green helmet, by the way, with our existing uniform combinations gives us 27 different combinations that you can have.
I know we're not trying to be Oregon, but nobody wears Kelly Green like the Herd does. We have that color on lock.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, appreciate how you guys do it. The combination outcome. That's awesome.
So he puts you on the spot. I'm going to put you even more on the spot where you're not even going to want to talk to me anymore with how invasive this question is.
All right.
Where is the best tailgating you can absolutely find at Marshall University's football stadium? Hint, it revolved around the same stuff that we did at the green and white game in the spring.
Yeah, Russ, I know you're setting me up for that, but you guys do get a lot of credit for that because that was some damn good chicken. But I think it was a buddy of yours that did all the work.
Yep.
It was. And those guys, we're talking about Chris, Brian, and Kyle. And Kyle couldn't be there this time. Chris and Brian were the 2 that were there. Kyle is there all the time. All of the Kentucky Mash Boys. So that's who did that up. But yes, it is some damn good food.
Yeah. You can look forward to that for the home opener. And if you can make your way back around, you'll be able to get a little bit of that. Looks like we might have had a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm glad we got through all of those questions, Russ. Just in case Christian isn't able to join us again, let's go ahead and take it out of here. I want to thank Athletic Director Christian Spears for being so open and honest and candid with us, giving us so much of his time. Russ, if you got nothing else, take us out of here.
Yes, whether you see us at the Joan, whether you see us at the Jack, or whether you see us with our boys, the Kentucky Mash Boys, at the opener, having the best barbecue in the land. No matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go Herd.
Go Herd. It's the ThunderCast. We will see you next week. Later.